Good evening, one and all. Welcome to Leaders Connect 360 episode LC100. Leaders Connect 360 is CSR initiative by BJ Training and organized by the Mask Leadership. My name is Priyanka and I am working as a senior facilitator soft skill in Ambuja Cement Foundation. Leaders Connect 360 started with the specific objective of inviting 1,000 plus leaders and create 1 million leaders. A hybrid model leadership community where every Wednesday from 6:30 p.m. to 7:15 p.m. we learn from top management leaders on Zoom Live, and once in 3 months in each city, we will have an offline networking meet to network, support, and grow with the leaders. That's when we call as Leader Create More Leaders. Currently, all are muted, and we will giving you an opportunity to speak to our guest, Mr. Ramasubramaniam, Executive Vice President, Sundram Motors. But before that, me also share that we are currently live on LinkedIn, and this episode LC100 is being recorded. For the visitors who are joining for the first time, you may also click on WhatsApp, FB, and LinkedIn on the chat box to get updates on weekly basis and join us in creating more leaders. Also, we request all our members and visitors to turn on your videos, which will help us in making the episode highly interactive. So we all are ready to interact with our guest, Mr. Ramasubramaniam, sir, Executive Vice President, Sundram Motors, on the topic of personal branding and beyond. Then please type yes in the chat box. Thank you so much. Before the introduction of the guest, let me also take the privilege to introduce the founder of the Leaders Connect 360, Mr. Prakash Sharma, who will have an interaction with our guest along with the panel discussion leader, Ms. Bhavini Pancholi. I shall welcome you all. Over to you, Prakash, sir. Thank you all.
All right. Thank you very much. It was really great and awesome introduction. And welcome, Mr. Ramasubramanian, sir. It's been really great that you've been here with us for our 100th episode. And welcome all the members, visitors, and the guests who all are here for the 100th episode of the Leaders Connect. And me and Mr. Ramasubramaniam, we've been interacting for quite a long time. And it's really our honor to have you here today, sir. It's been, I understand with a lot of busy schedules that you have, and you've been really great on the specific topic, which is personal branding and beyond. That's great. And just on a note for all the members and the visitors who are here as well, and as we move into the topic of a 100th episode, we have a short video to play about a 100th episode, thanking all the people, members, visitors, guests. There's so many people out there whose hard work and efforts and time has been invested in creating more leaders. And Mr. Ramasubramanian, sir, with your permission, we would like to play this 100th episode video, and then we will come with the interaction with you, sir. Good. So yes, over to you, Arul, to play the 100th episode video. And with that, we start ahead with this particular session. And I would also request our panel discussion leader, Ms. Bhavini Pancholi, to have a more easy interaction with you all, so that we'll be able to completely understand and create an awesome impact for this 100th episode as well. So yes, over to you, Arul. Go ahead and can play the video. Great. Thank you very much, Arul, for the wonderful video. And thanks very much, Manish, for helping us to create such videos. And thanks all our members, visitors, authors, panel discussion leaders, and most importantly, every week after week, the guest of honors have been joining us. And today's special guest of honor is Mr. Ramasubramaniam with us here today. And here we have him, the Executive Vice President of Sundram Motors, on the special topic, personal branding and beyond. Great. So how are you, Mr. Ramasubramaniam?
I'm doing great. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's a pleasure to connect with all of you on this 100th Leaders Connect 360 program. I'd like to congratulate each and every one of you. Special congratulations to Prakash for leading this initiative. I heard that he is planning for 900 more such episodes. Yes. Wishing you all the best, and your first milestone is already here. So fantastic. Yeah. And congratulations to the entire team of Bija and Mask Leaders, I think, who have been creating such a wonderful Connect program. And I truly believe that unlearning, learning, and honing our skills are extremely important for us to emerge as winners in this dynamic world. And I'm sure this platform which you have created will certainly work in favor of creating many leaders as we move along. Thanks for having me with you for your
pleasure is ours, sir. Thank you very much. That's been really great on this welcome note which you've been sharing across. And thanks for your wishes. Definitely, sir, with all your support, we will be reaching our 900 more episodes, which we'll be doing it. So with all this, let's quickly, all our members and visitors, let's have a quick introduction video. So Mr. Ramasubramanian sir, every episode what we follow is all our guest of honors, we only introduce them through a video. So here's a video introduction for you as well as a panel discussion leader. With this is where I hand over our discussion to panel discussion leader on the specific topic, personal branding and beyond. So over to you, Arul, for the video of the guest of honor, Mr. Ramasubramanian's introduction. right. Thank you very much, Sarol. And Ramasubramaniam sir, people call you in short as SSR, if I am
That's
right.
right.
Correct? So maybe also take the privilege to call you as SSR for our discussion.
Perfect.
It will be helping.
Yes, go ahead. Yes.
Thank you very much,
Thank you.
SSR. And then, yes, so over to Ms. Bhavini, our panel discussion leader. Yes, Bhavini, over to you. Thanks for joining us for today's Leaders Connect episodes, 100th episode especially. Yes, Bhavini.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Prakash, for the chance and opportunity to give me for having a delightful beginning of the 100th episode and bestowing it upon me. I gladly welcome all and thank you all. And yes, good evening, sir. You are
Very good evening.
heartily, outlandishly welcome you for this 100th episode. We couldn't have got anyone better than you. If you say your name is SSR, then it reminds me of Rajamoli, sir. We couldn't get any better brand than this for a 100th episode. Thank
It's
you
my
for being
pleasure.
a part of this 100th episode, sir. That also reminds me that you've been one of the most leading, inspiring person in automobile company. That's one of the best brands which I love to have sometime would be Mercedes-Benz. And if I
Sure.
can still take your name and get a car of Mercedes, at least would be a very grateful achievement in my life, at least.
Sure, sure.
Welcome you, sir. Is it okay
Thank
if I Mr. SSR or Mr. Ram would do?
SSR is fine.
Lovely. Great. Nice. So could we begin the panel discussion, sir?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Great. Yes. So let me begin with citing a quote which has been famous by a person named as Barry Feldman. He said once that you, my friend, are a brand. So he coined this with an understanding of this new development of having a personal brand or having a brand in itself. So I would like to know what is your opinion or take about this personal branding and what are your thoughts about the same?
Well, personal branding, it refers to a process of creating a unique and a consistent image and a reputation that defines an individual and sets them apart from the others.
Correct.
It helps individuals to identify their strengths and present themselves both professionally and consistently to others when they are pursuing their studies or their career, or if they are an entrepreneur by themselves. So this is what personal branding helps. Adoption of personal branding can be important for success in life, as it helps individuals to establish credibility and reputation in the field. It supports development of a clear and a confident personal identity, while it facilitates career growth and advancement. In short, I can say personal branding is important as it can help individuals build a strong and positive image, achieve their goals, and succeed in their personal and professional lives.
Great, nice. So what exactly would you understand? So if I understand your analysis of this personal branding, it shows about how analytically we need to work on this brand, creating a name for ourselves in the market, having connection, making a new development of growth and placing ourselves. So how do I have this quotient of importance of personal brand in today's time?
How do you have this quotient of?
Quotient of personal brand developed in today's time.
Okay. How do you have this quotient of developing personal brand in these times? Okay. So let me say that I would like to give you, let's say, a 10 mantra, to develop your personal branding,
Right.
One is being authentic. Yeah. Authenticity is very important. Yeah. Being consistent in whatever you want to do. How do you create that uniqueness? Yeah. On standing out from the crowd,
Right.
that's very important. Yeah. How clear are you able to make and establish a point is very important. So clarity in whatever it is extremely important. How relevant is the point you're making? Yeah. The relevancy of the point is extremely important. Sixth one, very important, is your confidence. Now, for you to be confident, you need to have knowledge, without which the confidence doesn't come. So the confidence is very important. What kind of differentiation are you able to bring in? Yeah. That's important as well. What is the reputation you have gained
Correct.
by virtue of how you have served is also important.
Right.
What kind of visibility you bring and what a kind of credibility you
Lovely.
have. So this is the
Right.
10 mantras of, how you establish your
Right.
personal brand.
Right. So all of these are just going to be like, part by part milestones, which I need to achieve as and how I build my brand and, how
Sure.
I'm be incorporating all of these skills in developing one. So
Yeah.
as you worked in your company for so long, how do you place or mark you and your company indispensable?
Well, personal brand is important for you to be a differentiator yourself and for you to also build on your company's brand image.
Right.
Both of it go hand in glove. Yeah. It's not that they are two different sets.
That's
The way we all leverage on a reputation of, let's say, a brand. Yeah. For this sake, I would say TVS stands for trust, value, and service. Of course, TVS is the name of the founder of a company, but over years of service, customers have given this reputation of T standing for trust, V standing for value, and S standing for service. Now, as a professional, when I kind of, represent the organization, how do I carry this legacy of this organization?
right.
Yeah. And how do I deliver the expectation? The moment I say I represent a brand Mercedes, you say that's your dream car.
Correct.
Yeah. So the expectation goes up. The moment I tell Prakash that I am from TVS Sundram Motors, the expectation goes up. Now, how do I deliver these brand expectation is what makes me and my name SSR significant.
Significant.
I hope I was able to bring in the context of how self-branding is as important as how established name in the industry is, which is the company by itself.
Right. So basically your hard work has shown the value, trust, and service that now that you're providing in Sundram Motors has made you as a brand and your company the smart difference between the personal brand and personal branding. Both are making a nice development of difference.
I would like to say that it's not just my hard work, which has made this TVS brand, hard work of my ancestors, my predecessors. But what I would like to tell you is my success inside the organization and my growth inside the organization depends on the value addition I bring. How successful am I? Yeah. So that's what I was trying to say.
Right.
An organization is made about a group of team members who have a goal congruence on what they want to deliver. And that's the way the contribution happens. Everyone will have to contribute.
Right.
But within this large group, how can one person be shining and how can they grow? Yeah. So that's your personal brand.
Right. Lovely. So what exactly was your superpower SSR when you were growing this development of your company? And what was that superpower skill that you showed, which made you take your company to this pedestal?
Okay. See, involvement is extremely important. How involved are you in? What do you want to contribute depends on how you learn and how you kind of contribute to the company. So I would say never work to the clock.
Right.
Work with an objective of learning, solving all the difficulties.
Right.
Plan, do, check, act, PDCA. TQM as a philosophy is very important. If one has to do the mistakes and learn, one should never fear from failures. But if we have to learn from our own mistakes and failures, then this life is not sufficient.
Correct.
Yeah. So you need to learn from others. From the successes you learn, from others' failures also you learn.
Oh, so what?
And how you bring those inside.
Right.
For you to be successful and for you to continue to contribute.
So you said that you were kept you somehow things kept going for you and you were having a spark of inspiration for yourself. So what was that spark of inspiration that you saw in yourself, which kept you going and you wanted to have that hunger to reach that mark in the industry of automobile? I'm sure the automobile industry was not in that mark that is today. And I'm definitely sure that today it's taken to a next level of understanding, especially after today's budget, when I could see where they said that electric motors are going to be cheaper.
Yeah.
So I was so happy to hear that, and it was becoming much affordable for people. So I'm sure that automobiles slowly took its mark of understanding, and the kind of youth being attached today to automobile industry is a very striking difference between then and now. So what was that inspiration that you had?
Well, see, when I was a child, all of us have our own hobbies.
Correct.
Yeah. And all of us have our own dreams.
Right.
So my hobby was cars
Oh,
and electronics.
okay.
Yeah. And my dream was to set my own dealership.
All right. Right.
I joined this company with that as a thought, and I worked on it.
Right.
So when you have a dream,
Hmm.
it's passion which chases you for you to learn.
Right.
So that's why I said, never work to the clock.
Right.
Keep learning. And learning is an endless journey. So I used to be there across the organization, working with others,
right,
giving them a helping hand, and they used to help me as well. It so happened that the company I work with gave me the entrepreneurial freedom to make certain decisions. And the way I run, these two divisions, which is, let's say, Mercedes-Benz, Volkswagen, pre-owned cars, retail finance, insurance, all these, I run the business as though it was my own money. It was my own company. So this is what allowed me to give my best and enjoy what I do. And the moment you start enjoying what you do, I'm sure you contribute and you are a part of the company as well. Goal congruence, having the same values, enjoying what you do are extremely important.
So you
never settle for something which is ordinary. Push yourself to deliver that extraordinary bit.
Great. So you basically chased your dream, which then became your passion, and that's what you delivered now as a amazing Sundram motors that people look out to and work for. And that's brilliant, amazing. Cheers to you for what hard work you've done. So that also tells me an understanding that how basically the branding, the personal branding that we see, that we're talking right now, can show or mark opportunities of being a leader.
You're saying how the personal branding makes one a leader.
Yes, yes.
Am I right?
Right, correct.
Okay. See, personal branding, it helps in building trust and credibility with customers, as I already told you. How do you align the personal and company values to enhance the overall brand image? How do you showcase your company culture and values through the personal brand of your own team? How do you kind of influence your team to bring out their own personal brands, which in turn makes their customers to be their fans?
Right.
How do you make your employees to be your fans? Depends on what value addition you give. And when your team members deliver that kind of a service to their customers, which makes customers to be their fans, is the way you judge, are you in the right path? Are you successful or not?
Absolutely. Very well said, sir. It is like, having your personal brand, which is not just, it's a lot more than just having your profile updated in LinkedIn or having a tweets in Twitter. It has got a lot of dedication, sincerity, thirst and hunger to keep going and keep achieving more higher and higher. So
True.
that also tells me that, sir, that today the automobile industry that we're standing out, and we're talking a lot about today's youth looking forward for. So what do you think is the automobile life going to be further?
Well, as you said, today during the budget, there's been a lot of announcements on electrics. Yeah.
Electrics, yes.
So the automobile industry is a major contributors to India's GDP.
Yes.
Yeah. And I would like to share with you that last year, India overtook Japan to become the third largest market in the world.
Wow.
When it comes to auto industry.
Okay.
Yeah. So a major contributor to the country's GDP, and also to give them much required mobility. Yeah. So this is what the auto industry is doing.
All right.
But, you know, in the quest of a greener future, to reduce emissions, to save Mother Earth for the future generations, the government is embarked on certain mission to reduce the carbon footprint. And that's where they're jumping into electrics. In fact, from the internal combustion engines, there's something called a hybrid. And from hybrid, you have something called electrics. This is how the transition works. But in India, the hybrids have not come in and there will be no concessions around. We are jumping the hybrid to straight into electrification. You have a lot of SOPs given by the government and by the state government. Both central and state government are giving a lot of SOPs.
Okay.
And you're seeing a lot of new players in this market. Of course, in the last 2-3 years, electrics are getting noticed, but their contribution in the overall auto industry currently is a small percentile. But if you look at some space like, let's say, the three-wheeler industry, the contribution is quite large. Two-wheeler, the contribution is going up. On passenger cars, it is not. Why? Because you need to have the charging infrastructure. Without the charging infrastructure, customers are not going to be willing to invest on a 10 lakh, 20 lakh or whatever amount for their personal transportation, because that range anxiety is going to be there. Can I go to Trichy and come back to Chennai in one full charge? Can I go to Madurai in one full charge? If I can't, what are the charging stations? What kind of quick charging stations are there? So we are in the cusp of a major disruption already, wherein this internal combustion engines, which has been there for over 100 and say close to 150 years, is getting shaken up for this electrification to happen.
Right.
So there's lots which is happening in terms of a huge technology change. And I think we've been talking about unlearning to learn. All our engineers will have to now also learn how to work on these electric technology.
Right. So basically, how do I basically offer healthy hybrid learning for these growing engineers? So now they need to think a little more in terms of environment, in terms of making things better for people, in terms of making affordability for people. So how do I bring in that kind of a thought process and connect youth to this understanding? As we are having a lot of youth who they say that I like playing on video games, I like having technical understanding. We also buy toys accordingly, because he's a boy, so let me buy some electricals for them. She's a girl, so we can't get them something like that. We need to think something otherwise for them. So if I target those kind of understanding, or even if I differentiate or I don't differentiate, how do I bring youth attention towards this kind of healthy process of understanding of technicals today?
Okay, so a strategic thought process is very important, for which leaders will have to think critically, and they need to bring out and take these emerging trends to the Gen Next. Yeah. So you have, look at our own curriculum. Yeah. Whether be it in school, be it in college, these will have to get updated with the new technologies. Plus, you need to have, like you have this forum, this platform. What do you try to achieve through this platform? To groom more future leaders. Similar way, how can someone else take up a CSR responsibility of presenting the technology and the disruptions which are happening
Correct.
to convince
Hmm.
not just the youngster, even those who have tons of experience, saying that please update yourself, else it will be time for retirement. So you need to basically do this. And of course, you have a lot of online learning. For example, if you want to learn anything, you used to Google, right?
Right.
In the last 1 month, that has changed. Chat GPT.
Yes.
And huge. You know, the kind of followers and those who have enrolled, you know, they created a huge, within a week of announcement, you know what happened. So there are such fantastic learning platforms which are available, but one needs to create the time to invest, to upskill, to know the trends. And that's important. The youngsters would love the change which is happening. You said they love video games. They will love electrification because today's car technology is going towards AI.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yes.
So over a period of next 5 years, I would like to tell you, the car would learn and would know more about the consumer than the consumer himself or herself.
Right. Right. Very well.
That's where the industry is heading towards.
Right. I can see a lot of this automobile when I see these kind of technological stuff happening, and these youngsters are excited about new cars, but they basically don't know how to work with them, how to be more accustomed with them, their technologies and changes and all that. But when you see movies on cars, they give you so much of triggering in you, and they want you to make them so effective in their work that the youngsters want to like pull off their chains and get into mechanical engineering, get into the transformation of engineering, and understand those kind of nuances of working. So how in this process, how do I know the I in you and identify the understanding of the brand or the leadership skill?
Okay, it's a very interesting question. Knowing the I in you.
In you.
It refers to the process of self-discovery, understanding your unique strengths, values, and your personality traits. Each one of us have those unique individuality, right?
Yes.
They say, no, there are only 7 in the world who look alike.
Right.
Yeah. So what is that uniqueness which all of us have? This is an important step in personal branding, as it helps individuals to establish not just the unique identity, but also makes them set a class apart from the rest.
Correct.
To know the I in you, individuals need to reflect on their experience, skill, and passion to understand what makes them unique. This may involve asking a few questions. What are my core values and beliefs?
Right.
What are my strengths and weaknesses? What are my passion and interests? What impact do I want to have on others and on the world? Don't restrict yourself to just your street or the city. Look at the global arena and see what you want to achieve. I think that's the way one can achieve knowing the I in you.
In you. Absolutely amazing, SSR. I really love the way you defined and redefined and restructured the understanding of this, identifying this I and you. I always stand as a leader, but that leader needs to involve the you as well in order to make it complete. And the ethos of those need to be working so well that they have to complement each other. So when I say personal branding and beyond, so how do I have this beyond? And where do I find the spot of beyond in my personal branding?
Now, beyond is what next?
Correct.
Yeah. So as I told you, I spoke about the internal combustion engines, I spoke about hybrids, and then I spoke about electrification.
Electrification.
Now, already electrification is a VUCA.
Correct.
We are in a VUCA world, but what is beyond electrification? What is happening?
Okay.
One needs to know that.
Hmm.
When I say crude oil, what comes to your mind? You know, we import a lot of crude for fuel,
Crude oil.
for
Crude.
petrol, diesel, gas,
Yes,
right?
petrol, yes, yes, yes.
You get to know that
land
it's
it.
coming from Middle East.
Right, right.
Yeah, we're importing. When I
Okay.
speak about batteries, what comes to your mind?
Amaraja batteries.
Okay, Amara batteries, but in the electric business, you need to have a lot of lithium.
Acha, okay.
Yeah, like crude oil, you need to have a lot of lithium.
Hmm.
And then when you look at it, in the top 4, India is not there. So we need to know which way the technology is going. Now, when I've told you that Chile is one place which has a lot of reserves.
Yes.
If I tell you Australia, China is the 3rd largest in terms of reserves of what is required for a battery to be manufactured. And India is not there in the top 10. So what would happen in case you have, let's say, you have one of those oil wells?
Yes.
What happens? In case we run a fuel station. Now, after if India wants to go electric route, by 2030, I understand the government wants 30% penetration.
Okay.
So if I run a fuel station, what should I do? I have to realign myself to these realities.
Correct.
Correct? Are you
Right.
ready? So this is thinking beyond. I just gave this as an example, right? Because we speak of automobile and you spoke about today's budget. I'm just giving you as an example of how you need to think future. How do you need to think beyond? Today, you might be successful. It doesn't mean that today's talents which you have, the skill set which you'll have, will get you the same success tomorrow.
Right.
No, it may not.
Definitely true. Definitely true. Definitely, because I know that what has taken me here will not take me there, and I need to work on moving myself there. Will have another ladder in itself. But yes, I can see that India is really very crude as of now. Not only with the crude oil, but a lot of resources which we need to import. And if we just going to continuing doing that, we're going to be only drying off our resources very soon, and we're only going to be importing things. When are we going to be start working on things that resources which we have? So yes, I can definitely understand with the technicals. And yes, sir, when I see myself as an individual and I see as a brand, I really think everyone needs to take that one leap to understand how branding is very, very important in themselves and how much we need to work harder in order to make sure that we make ourselves more aware, including all the skills which you noted, the 10 skills that you shared with us was amazing. It incorporates every understanding of having a business, every understanding of having a brand, every understanding of having an individual mark in itself. So really thankful, sir, for all that you have shared today. It was an insightful and definitely a mark of understanding for 100th episode. I couldn't have asked better than this. That's why I already marked you as the Rajamouli sir of today's session. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you so much, Bhavini.
Thank you.
It's
Thank
my
you
pleasure.
for having.
Thank
Anything, sir, which you would want to share with us or tell us from your experience that has taken challenge in itself that has helped you, because we have seen, I'm sure even you've been seen generations working now, right? So what my understanding goes or what their understanding goes, they always clash in some way or some form or the other, right? So we have to blend in and sink in with those understanding. So what has been your learning from these, and what would you want to now go beyond in teaching?
Okay, are you speaking about challenges or going beyond? Because both are different.
Both.
So, for example, during pandemic,
yes.
the world came to a standstill. India shut down for 5 to 6 weeks.
Correct.
We thought, what's going to happen next? Many lost their jobs. Many had sleepless nights. Yeah,
right.
And there were suddenly certain industries which started doing extremely well. Pharma industry started doing well. PPE industry, manufacturing your masks and the overalls, they started doing well. So those were the kind of opportunities which came in certain industries. Yeah. So those are the kind of challenges. Now, if you want me to speak about challenges, there are a lot of personal and professional challenges which all of us face.
Right.
Yeah. And how you overcome those challenges and how you come back is a mind game, is what you tell yourself. Now, if you want me to speak about challenges, and if you want me to speak on a personal, in my personal life, I can share a very quick one on what I went through and how I overcome the challenge. So
I would be all ears to listen, sir, because challenge is something which always inspires for people to take and learning for themselves. As a challenge, what I was wanting and what I had an understanding is challenge in your, like how you said, there was a standstill life during the Corona time. So I'm sure automobile also has faced that challenge. And how did you, as a leader that you are, how did you overcome that? And as that has been definitely a challenge for you, sir. So now that you have faced the challenge and you've learned from that challenge, what could that be a beyond for you to give teaching for people?
Okay. So during the COVID times, you have a team and they have a family.
Correct.
How do you give them the confidence that this is not the end of the world and there is a beyond? But as a leader, you really don't know what that beyond is. Right? So what can you do is to take, when you have a turbulent mind, you don't think. Your mind doesn't think. If you have a plain water, the reflection makes you see yourself. If you have a boiling water, what happens?
Steam.
Similar is the mind when you have turbulence, when you have worries.
Right.
You don't know, and that worry affects their health and affects their family's health also. So we created a lot of family employee engaged connect initiatives to keep them busy through the pandemic on something or the other. Family plays a very important role in the success of an individual. Without the support of family, be it your wife or a husband or your parents or children, one cannot be successful in his or her career. How do you connect with their families to make sure the employee contributes their best is extremely critical. And hence, this is what we did. We had so many competitions, and that's how the Zoom and Google and all these video channels came up, and many of them actually further which have come up, right? MS Teams and all of them. So we use those modes to connect and to take their worries away. Right. And it so happened when we started opening, without us putting them on roster, they wanted to know when they can come back.
Right.
Our company with no business, zero business, no billing, paid salaries on time with no deductions.
That's incredible, sir.
That is the way loyalty comes. That is the way wanting to be a part of the company and I should give something back comes. And hence, when after lockdown, when the world started opening up, everyone gave their best. And we were able to get back to normalcy much faster than what we envisaged. So the message is taking your team along, connecting with the family. When someone is going through tough times, as a leader, you need to give a helping hand. You need to pull them up.
Right.
Yeah. If you don't do it, you cannot call yourself a leader.
True.
If you do it, that person who benefited from it will become a fan for life.
Absolutely true, sir.
Walking what you talk.
Right.
Practice what you preach are extremely important, for you to be successful leaders. And in challenging times, leaders have got to make the difference. They cannot say, what you are going through, I'm also going through the same thing. What do you want me to do? That guy is not a leader. Yeah, he cannot call himself a manager. I would give him the title damager.
damage. Right, true, sir. Very well said, sir. So today I really feel that I have not been having a panel discussion, but I've been having a talk with a bonk who has given me a blissful understanding of life, not only in terms of how automobile will look into the future, but how we all have to look into ourselves and look within ourselves for future. So this term called introspection has become a very, very smoldering form of an understanding in one's life, which everyone have to adapt. Thank you so much, SSR. You've been really, really amazing panel discussion person with me. And I've been really grateful to know a lot of skills which I can look into now in order to have myself a unique name within. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Bhavini. I think very, very valid questions, and I enjoyed the interactions with you.
Thank you.
I hope all your members have benefited from this discussion, and I would be too willing to take their questions as well, because I need to learn from all your experiences.
Thank you, SSR. That's
so much.
Really an example of a true leader itself by what you just said. So yes, and this exactly is a platform, a hub for leaders. Then yes, definitely all such people which with mind alike of leaders are always welcome here, where we learn and grow with each other. Thank you, SSR. Over to you, Prakash.
Great, thank you very much, Bhavini. That was an awesome interaction along with SSR. And a wonderful SSR. That's the really very, very inspiring key points which you have told on personal branding and beyond, which is giving us real more clarity and understanding of how one should really create an impact within themselves. And one of the key points you said is more of self-awareness, more of introspecting ourselves. That's what you're sharing it across, and more reflecting on oneself. That's the word actually which you used. And few key questions which you shared was really, really exciting. And those questions, if one person asks amongst themselves itself, will have more clarity about how personal branding is very important, which needs to be aligned with the passion for the company. Great, SSR. That's been awesome. And now is the time for a quick quiz. And so all the members and visitors over here today on this 100th episode. So we're going to have a small quiz, and we also have a quick surprise gift for you all for the quiz winner as well. So before the quiz, let me share with you all today that the next Saturday, we have our Rocket Goals networking meet. So what we do is every 3 months once in every city, that is from Chennai or Bangalore or Mumbai, we conduct every 3 months once the Rocket Goals meet, where we're helping the leaders to achieve their respective goals of what it is. So it's Rocket Goal 6.0, which is going to happen next Saturday at Taj Clubhouse, where all the guest of honors, panel discussion leaders, authors, members all are invited. And every 3 months once, which has been conducted. So in Chennai is this month, February 11th, which we have, which is from 8 a.m. followed by the breakfast. And then after the breakfast is where we start the meet, which is a structured meeting, helping individuals to move towards the goals. And that's what, in fact, actually how Mr. SSR was talking about. There should be a passion, there should be a purpose of what you're doing. And we all are, in fact, here to address to those passion and purpose on how do we really bring in those reflections within us. That's what we're helping all the leaders to do so here. And that's at Taj Clubhouse at Chennai on 11th. So people who are available to join, and please feel free. We'd be really great to join us there. And for more information, feel free to interact with Mr. Arul. We'll be able to help you on the same as well. And with that note is where I would request Ms. Uma to share a small quiz question to all our members and visitors over here. The quiz question is about what all the pointers or the experience sharing of Mr. SSR. And on that is where the quiz is going to be asked. So over to Uma for quickly sharing the quiz question. Yes, Uma, over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Prakash, for this wonderful opportunity where we learn from peer leaders and industry stalwarts. So my question for today is like, as Mr. SSR said in the beginning, like there are 10 attributes for becoming a good personal branding. So what is the most important, according to him, is the most important attribute which will lead to a good personal branding? That was the question for the day today.
Awesome question. The 10 pointers which he has shared.
Is right. The confidence.
Involvement.
Confidence is the right answer because he stressed on confidence as being one of the most important attribute for personal branding. And confidence with knowledge is also right. He also stressed on knowledge. So I give it to Suresh. If there is 2 prizes, I would also like to award Mr. Sai Annapurni.
Yes, Sai Annapurni also with the confidence, with knowledge, and involvement is also come up. Involvement was from authentic. So authentic also is there.
Yeah,
Should be
these
more
were some
authentic.
of the points, but he stressed specifically on confidence and said that it is the
Yes.
most important thing.
He highlighted more on the same. Very rightly said. True, Uma Parameshwari. Very rightly said. So that's Mr. Suresh S who was highlighted first, is it?
Yeah, Suresh S was the first.
Okay, great. So Suresh is going to be the winner for this quiz. Thanks very much, Uma. And we would, all the members and visitors, quickly, can we all clap hands for Mr. Suresh? And Suresh, congratulations, where you will be, in fact, getting this 10% discount on the Rocket Goals meet, which is going to happen the next week. So feel free for joining us. In fact, that will add more and more value, Suresh, as you've already been there every 3 months once, and it's going to be really great and wonderful for you to be having there at Taj Clubhouse the next week. So great. So congratulations. That's about for Mr. Suresh. Congrats, Suresh, once again. And Uma Parameshwari, quickly, if you like to introduce yourself to people, that will add value and people also would be knowing you more. In short, Uma?
Yes, sir, I do. Myself, Uma Parameshwari, and I have hold around close to 9+ years of experience in HR and currently pursuing my PhD at VIT in the topic of leadership. So I connect with people who are like-minded to me, and I also do HR consultancy for few companies. This is a small list about me. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Uma Parameshwari. That's been awesome. And now's the time is open questions for all our members and visitors over here. So open questions with respect to personal branding, whatever you have, and personal branding and beyond. Any more key pointers you feel you have? There are 2 ways of asking the key questions to Mr. SSR. One, either raise your hand and we give you an opportunity to ask you the question directly to SSR, or 2, kindly type your question in the chat box, and on behalf of you, we ask the question to our guest of honor, Mr. SSR today. So yes, so quick, if you have any questions, quickly go ahead and raise your hand and we give an opportunity. Yes, I believe Sendil has already raised his hand. Yes, Mr. Sendil, go ahead, and the question is to SSR. Yes, Sendil.
Thank you very much, Prakash, and thank you very much on the leadership team. It's really awesome to be there in the part of 60 member associates in this 100th episode. And we would able to mesmerize with the real monk of giving a deeper insight about the automotive world. And my question is, when we talk about the brand in a positive way, and there are some situations where the personal brand goes to task.
Correct.
So when personal brand goes to task, what is the laser focused mind that need to bring in to handle the situation and to overcome the situation?
Well, Mr. Sendil, I think that was a good question. There are times when, whatever small things you do, it could misfire. Now, you should not lose your balance when things misfire. Yeah. So you have to face it, and it will be a bit turbulent.
Yeah.
But you should be able to be quick to respond, for which you need to get into what went wrong. Yeah. The regular title, the regular topic of a why would help oneself to understand what went wrong. Yeah. Many a time, just acknowledging what went wrong could itself be the start of your transition and transformation. Never fear to acknowledge your mistakes and quickly come out with what you want to do and the course correction you want to do. Because this incident or whatever you quoted is not the end of life. you have more opportunities
Mhm.
to once again
Take the
carve
game.
a niche and create a brand for yourself. I hope I answered your question.
Thank you very much.
Yes, thanks very much, Sendil, for quickly sharing your question. And it's really an awesome answer. I'm sure you would have received it. And we also have Uma Parmeshwar raising her hand. Yes, Uma, please go ahead with your question.
Sir, it was a mind-blowing session. I was taking my takeaway so much. In spite of having so much of inputs, I couldn't find out a single point where I could miss out. It was a tough time asking a quiz question because everything is like so very important. I couldn't lose anything out. So I just thought like it let me be like a one-word answer, something like that. So I just took that question for the quiz session. But my question is like, I personally feel that the personal characteristics matters a lot when it comes to personal branding. When it comes to like, it is not only like exploring yourself and marketing yourself, it's also about when it comes to it, testing times or something like that, your personal characters matters a lot because it is improving your value as well as your presence in the situation. So what is your inputs on those lines, sir? I just want to know your thoughts on those lines.
Well, life puts you through a lot of challenges, and so you have a lot of challenges in the world, right? So just look at the big tech companies. Name the big companies, and there is a huge layoff happening. Yeah. Did we ever imagine all these big names? I don't want to give those names. It's all available and all of us are aware because we read about them. We come across our friends and families which are affected because of these big layoffs. Did we ever imagine that this is going to happen? It has happened. So what is it going to do? How do we help those who are impacted to overcome this setback and to kind of, look at what are the other opportunities which are there where they can quickly move on is very, very critical.
Correct. Exactly.
So just going through, why this happened to me is what we generally do is not good enough. When someone goes through such turbulent times, what can I do for them? Do it, and you will see when we need help, there are several more who will come and who will be in a line wanting to help us. I believe in this fundamental. What you give is what comes back to you.
Yes. True.
I hope I answered you.
Yes.
If you have,
actually, it was a out of the box thinking, and I was learning a lot from you today, and it was really a worth time. Thank you so much, sir, for
Thank you
this
so
wonderful session, and thanks, Prakasha, for organizing this event. Thank you so
Yes.
much.
Thank you.
Pleasure, Uma Parmeshwari. Thank you very much. That's been really great for asking that question. That really helps. In fact, the more you give, the more you get. Definitely, SSR, that's the real one of the key fundamental. In fact, we keep practicing as well. And as you rightly said, that's when the real mantra or the liveliness or the passion comes out. That's when it really helps us to do so. Good. Thanks very much, SSR, for doing it so. And thanks very much, Sendil, for sharing all the key 10 pointers of the personal branding quotient. So for developing a personal brand, the key 10 points which SSR had spoken, and it's already on the chat box for the people. So wonderful, Sendil, that's an awesome effort which you have taken to pen down every point, those 10 pointers, and you have highlighted them in the chat box. Really helps. Good. So now we come to an end of our 100th episode. And I believe almost most of people have really shared the key pointers, and few people have been listening. Definitely people have been listening, always have been adding a lot of value as well. So understand these key pointers and see where all can we apply and keep implementing, because just by listening alone is not going to stop. See where all can we apply, that's going to add a lot of value to us. And that's what is really going to give us more and more sense of achievement in what we've been doing. So with that, we come to a quick summary, as already Sendil has already shared it here. So Sendil, I request you to quickly do a summary of what has been discussed in the 100th episode. Quickly introduce yourself and then quickly get into a summary part, and then we come to an end of our 100th episode. And we will also introduce our next week's leader and we come to an end. So yes, Sendil, go ahead.
Thank you very much again, Prakash. Let me introduce myself. This is Senthil, been in the planet for 50 years. I've been in automotive industry at 27 years, coming from a native of Nagarkoil, presently working with the company in Daimler India commercial vehicle in HR, presently in learning and development, doing upskilling and reskilling for the blue collar associates, like what you rightly said in the beginning of the session, the mind to unlearn. So this is exactly what we imbibe in today's generation. Well said. And that's a small briefing about myself. Now, for the interest of time, let me summarize the key takeaway. It is almost more than 2 pages. First time in my life, I'm taking more than 2 pages summary. But for the benefit of time, I thought that let me make it short.
Pointers. Yes, that'll help. Wonderful.
Coming to the branding of India, it has 2 factors. One is a personal branding, other is a company branding. Both need to go hand in hand. So which really plays a crucial role. And second is when you work, don't work with respect to time, work with respect to PDCA cycle, that is plan, do, check, act. And coming to the learnings and failures are the 2 factors that we need to consider when you take a place in our organization or when you take a assignment in our organization. And third is when coming to the spark of ignition. Suppose if I have a dream in my mind to have become a car, to set up a car dealer of electronic gadgets, which is my thought process in my mind, I should have that dream, making it, bringing it to a reflection by making it congruent to the present availability. That is the present availability or opportunity is I had a chance to work in a Mercedes-Benz or TVS in a dealer showroom. So where I could able to gel my passion, which is at the back of my mind, bringing it into reality, working with the passion and allow myself to brand myself as a part of the well-sake of the organization. This was one of the key and a very heartful message what I could able to get from today's session. And apart from that, there are 10 tips which I already shared in the session. And one from general knowledge side is India has already overtook Japan in terms of a world third largest economy trend. And coming to the next is the strategic thought process of the emerging trend should be imbibed in the upcoming youngsters generation through college or through education, such that the 150 years of learning of IC engines are the trend what we already have should be, we have courageous mind to unlearn this IC engine learning and have curiosity to learn of the emerging EV vehicle industry trend. And last message here is that whenever we are in a turbulence during challenging situation, we try to make a hasty decision. But the wiser or the smarter way is to take a better decision by calming the mind, which helps us to see the better focus, bring better focus. And this helps not only in taking the team as well as taking the family and pull them up when they need your help. That is how we create brand among the family members or among the team. When you start creating the brand or when they become your fan, automatically the employee will be the fan of the customer. That's a key takeaway from today's session.
Thanks very much, Sendil. That's really been awesome for summarizing it. Excellently, you summarized as always. That's been really great. You put things in bullet points and helps people to easily understand about the key messages of what the takeaways are. Wonderful, SSR. So we're coming to an end of our episode of the 100th episode. And it's been really great that we have been here. Arul, I would request once again to please share the LinkedIn ID of Mr. SSR here on the chat box. And all the members and visitors who are here who wish to connect with Mr. SSR on LinkedIn, feel free. You can always send a request to connect. And I'm sure we'll be able to be part of the network of SSR here. So, SR, as we share the coming to an end of our episode, any one message or one liner you would like to share about the Leaders Connect 360, and then we share our next week's leader.
Well, I had raised my hand to first appreciate and thank Mrs. Sendil for summing up our discussions. I would say he did a fantastic job. Yeah,
Thank
so
you, sir.
thanks,
Yes.
Mrs. Sendil. I just have one small input in
Yes.
terms of India overtaking Japan. it is not with respect to GDP, it is respect to auto industry.
Okay.
In terms of auto industry
Auto
size,
industry.
we overtook Japan.
Yeah.
Basis our 2022 performance. So that's just that small input I wanted to give. And yeah, I would also like to, appreciate the way in which we had Bhavini Pancholi, who was, asking a couple of interesting questions, and I think was the moderator. So thank you very much, Bhavini. And of course, Prakash, I should thank you for this, for inviting me. I know many times you had reached out to me, and because of my travel and other engagements, this midweek doesn't work for me. To be very, very frank. So it's always weekends where I have time on hand, and midweek is extremely busy. But I'm so very happy to have been a part of this 100th episode. I would like to say that this initiative of yours is an amazing initiative.
Oh, thank you.
I'm sure that there's so much. I've seen a couple of your videos, and of course, for this program to understand the flow, I went through a couple of them in the last 1 week or so, just to see how the format works, because I need to make sure that I am with your flow and I don't take it away. But I should say that it's a brilliant initiative.
Oh, thank you.
I'm sure that this is going to multiply, and your 1,000th episode might happen even faster, because many might ask you why only once a week.
Okay.
So once again, hearty congratulations to you and your entire team. I'm sure this is a great initiative, and it's going to really play a very important role in not just creation of future leaders, in the current leaders also staying updated, relevant, and continuing to be leaders.
Yes, wonderfully shared, sir. Thanks very much for your best wishes to us, sir. Definitely all these best wishes. We will be, as a team, we all are there to do our best. And as you rightly said, it's all been a passion to do so. And we're doing it wholeheartedly, the way how we're creating more and more leaders.
Sure.
So thanks very much, SSR, for doing it so.
Thank you. And thanks to all the panel members.
Yes, thanks for all the panel members, visitors, and members who are here, and guests who have joined us today as well for the first time. So good. So with this, we come to an end, and I would request to Mr. Pankaj Vyas to share the vote of thanks to all, and then we share about the next week's leader before we close. And Mr. SR, I understand it's little later. I understand we are moved ahead of the time. So, but is it okay? Another 2 minutes where we are coming, just a thank you note and we are closing. Is that okay?
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, please. Please
thanks. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you, Prakash. Yes. Thank you so much. And good evening, everyone. Well, I really like the way Mr. Ramasubramaniam has taken over the entire episode, right? And nothing could have been better than this, embarking our 100th episode with the gracious presence and amazing learnings by you, SSR, sir. Thank you so much for sharing. And one thing which I learned from you is that one small thing, that I in you and you in me, right?
Yes.
So this particular learning, I just tried and summarized in 2 important and powerful words. One is called introspection, and second is a reciprocation, right?
Yeah.
So if one is able to, introspect and able to reciprocate to the people, yes, that will definitely help to create a better brand for oneself. So, sir, thank you so much, and amazing learning. So with that note, I would like to share the vote of thanks. So before me sharing about the next week leader, let me quickly share again the purpose of the community. If you find our episode interesting, kindly invite your contacts who will add value to the community. For the visitors who are attending for the first time, Leaders Connect 360 is a hybrid model leadership community where every week on a Wednesday from 6:30 p.m. to 7:15, we invite a top management leader from a reputed corporate company to share the solutions for our real-time leadership challenges, either on leading self, leading others, or leading your business, like how we have seen today Mr. Ramasubramaniam, Executive Vice President, Sundram Motors today. So now I'm happy to share about our next week leader. We will have Mr. Sanjay Jha, CHRO, Mahindra First Choice Wheels Limited, on the topic Unleashing Human Potential. Join us on 8th February 2023, Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. to 7:15 Zoom Live. Kindly join our social media platforms to receive weekly episode registration link and updates. Members who wish to be the panel discussion can give your names on the WhatsApp group or kindly interact with Mr. Arul. Thank you so much once again, SSR sir. Thanks for having you here. So I would like to thank, for all the visitors and members, kindly stay till the end of the episode as we give an opportunity to introduce yourself, which will help us to know each other better. Thank you so much once again. Over to you, Prakash.
Thanks, Pankaj. And that's been awesome. So SSR, we always end our episodes with a video. So that's just a thanking video for all. So with that, we come to an end, and awesome messages which is being shared. We will definitely stay in touch after this video as well, SSR. And it will be a privilege if you're available. I know maybe it's short notice to share. The next week, as I shared, the rocket goals, where we invite all our guest of honors, panel discussion leaders. And next week, there is 11th of February. And if it's possible, that will be really great to be also to meet you directly at Taj Clubhouse. So with that, we end this episode. Thanks very much, SSR, and really been great inviting you here. Thank you. It's been a pleasure that you've come here for us.
Thank you.
Arul, over. In here, that's been awesome. And that was our final or 100th episode for this respective Leaders Connect 360. Thanks, SSR. I believe SSR is in here still, Arul. Or maybe there was a network challenge and I had to step out. Okay. Great. So thanks very much. For also, we'd like to thank the Indra Group of Institutes, Indra Institute of Management Studies. Most of the students are also here. It's been great. So any of the students would like to also to share your experience about this Leaders Connect 360, about the 100th episode of how you liked SSR speaking on the personal branding part. Quickly raise your hand and we give an opportunity to explain what has your experience been. So thanks very much, Mr. Manmohan Vyas, for also giving, inviting your students here for this particular Leaders Connect episode. And any students from Indra Institute of Management Studies would like to share, quickly raise your hands and we give you an opportunity. So I will just see if you can